Hello collectors and welcome to my review of NECA's Alien Egg Set. This set was made for dioramas, displays, and army building, but at a price of $25 a set. Is it worth it? Well, let's take a quick look to see whether or not this set is worth picking up and adding into your collection. Alright, now to start this review off, I'm going to start with a little bit of a warning, and I'm going to discuss the packaging. So, as you can see here, the eggs come in this nice little egg carton. Well done, NECA. Great sense of humor. And it feels like a real egg carton too. You get all the little warnings there, like it's a real egg carton. And you get this little logo up here, which I'll show you a neat little trick with this in a second. But the reason why I'm pointing this out, and I'm going over the packaging, is it is wrapped with this piece of plastic which goes around the entirety of the container. And it also covers the lid here where it would open up. Why am I pointing this out? There are people who are getting their egg cartons off of Toys R Us shelves without face huggers in them. If you do not see this plastic wrapping on the egg carton when it's on the shelf, don't buy it or open it up first to see if there are face huggers inside, because yes, there are people who are going around to stores who are popping this plastic wrap off, opening it up, and stealing the face huggers. Not a cool move on their end. But anyway, for this label here, you can see cage-free eggs, nutrition label. Not really too much there, but they did bother to put some numbers in there, which is pretty cool. And then when it says peel for additional details, if you actually do that, you do get additional details. You get Series 5 and Series 6, I believe, along with a picture of the actual contents of the item. So that's pretty cool. So let's pop these eggs open. So yeah, again, just be sure that you're getting a brand new egg container, egg carton, and you're going to be getting the face huggers with them. Now, some of you are probably going to complain, I did that, but I have an extra set. So we open it up, and here we go. We have 3 closed eggs, 3 open eggs, and 3 face huggers. And here's a look at the inside of the lid for those who want to read it. So to start reviewing the contents of the set here, I'll start off with the closed egg, and as you can see here, it is very glossy, and the sculpting details are phenomenal. You have all these little ridges and veins here on the egg. Looks very awesome. And the main paint scheme for the egg is a grayish-green color with some black wash to it. And as you go up the egg and down the egg towards the top and the bottom, you get a little bit of a brown, tannish coloration until you get up here to the top, in which the folds have a nice orangish color to them, which is pretty sweet. Flipping it over to the bottom, you can see there's some trademark information. Not really too legible, even when I'm looking at it in person, so it's not that big of a deal. And you may notice that there are some little flaky things on there. That's just from the actual egg carton itself. Little pieces fell off to it, so not that big of a deal. And as you saw in the previous segment, you get 3 of these bad boys. Next up in this set is the open egg, and once again, you get 3 of them, and it's pretty much based off of the closed egg sculpt. You can see that the paint job is pretty similar, and the sculpting details are on par. You can see all the little ridges and the veins, but the difference here is that we have the egg opened up, and you can see some of the slime here is nicely sculpted on, and you can see the little flaps here for the open part of the egg have a fantastic sculpt to them too. There's sort of a pink paints for the base coat and gray dry brushing to bring out all the highlights at the top, which is very cool. And when looking inside of the egg, you can see that that pattern from the flaps here continues all the way down on the side, and at the bottom of the egg there is a nice puddle-looking gray paint application, which is really, really sweet. Overall, I gotta say this egg is pretty awesome, and it's great that we get 3 of them. And last but not least, we get one of the main attractions of this set, the face hugger. It comes in a small plastic baggie to prevent paint transfer, so I'm gonna go ahead and take one of these bad boys out of the baggie. And it is a brown tannish color with some black wash to it. There is a bendable wire in the tail segment for the face hugger, so you can get some pretty cool articulation out of it. Underside here, you can see some pink red around the mouth, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, the fingers or the legs, whatever you would prefer to call them, do not have articulation to them, which would have made it better, but hey, you know what? It's kind of a cheap set, I guess, so you can't expect too much out of them. Overall, the sculpting detail is pretty good on these, and they're fantastic for army building. Now, as the name would suggest, these are face huggers, right? So that means they should be able to hug faces. Well, let's try to do that right now. So we got them up around Ultraman's head. And, yeah, not too easy to do there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these aren't too great for actually hugging faces. So, unless you want to glue one onto your figure, or you're okay with, say, an attacking scene where, you know, Facehugger just kind of latches on to a victim, that's the best these can do. Because, unfortunately, right here, at the base of the tail, there really isn't that much articulation. There's only from right here on, so you're just going to have to make do with what you can. Now, these eggs might be cool and all, but how big are they? Well, here's a good size comparison with the SH Monster Arts Alien Warrior to the left, and the Black Genocide Alien Warrior on the right from NECA. And the real size comparison you've all been waiting for with the Alien Queen from NECA. So, overall, I'd say they're a nice size. So, should you buy a set, or should you buy 80? Well, this set is great. 3 closed eggs, 3 open eggs, and 3 facehuggers. No chest bursters, but I guess those are coming later. They're all big, they're great quality despite the fact that the closed egg feels kind of squishy, and they're nicely scaled. However, at $25 a set, considering NECA is reusing everything in the set multiple times, 3 to be exact, and people are buying 2 or more sets in one go, I can't help but feel they're really trying to get the most amount of money that they can out of these sets. I guess you could say maybe milking the cow. I'd say they're worth maybe about $20 a set, but Alien fans will not be disappointed. I bought 2 sets, and I plan to buy more. If you're on the fence, I definitely suggest picking at least one up, seeing whether or not you like it, and then buying more. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't. If you'd like to view some of my other videos, go ahead and click on the pictures in this video, and you'll be taken right to them. I've hand-selected them just for you. Be sure to check the description for both more information and some links to help me out, including a link to my Patreon. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.